You will get a recording of this later this afternoon. Please do understand I'm doing two back-to-back sessions today, and because of that, it'll be later this afternoon before I even have a chance to render and upload anything. So do not think I forgot you if you don't get a copy of today's slides and the replay, because you might want to slow me down or speed me up as needed, but you'll get that later this afternoon. So do not expect that right away or even after lunch, because I am doing two back-to-back sessions today. I am Maria Elena Duran. It's the voice that you've been hearing back here. I am a Grow with Google trainer, and I am also a marketing coach. So understand that I have been in small business for 20 plus years, and 15 of that working focused on startups and international e-commerce. So I understand e-commerce backwards and forwards. I live it and breathe it every single day, even today, as I work with either coaching, strategizing, or actually working on different businesses that are in the e-commerce space, especially international e-commerce. So do know that I'm coming with practical experience of what it's like to be butcher, baker, candlestick maker in your business, as well as take care of a thriving or growing e-commerce shop. So now we're going to be looking at the handouts and slides. If you want a copy of that right now during the session, utilize this QR code or this link, and I'm going to go ahead and drop that link. Let me bring that to you so you have that link for you. Where is it? Right here. So I can just get that to you. You'll see it in the chat box. If you want to get a copy of today's slides as well as the handout, feel free to use that QR code or that bit.ly link that I just dropped in the chat. Do know that it will be there and available to you till the session ends. Once the session ends, it won't be there anymore, but it will be emailed to you as well as the replay. Remember what I said, later this afternoon. Look for after 4 o'clock Central Time, all right? Just to kind of give you a heads up what later means, okay? All right, that's how you can get a copy of today's slides. And again, I dropped that in the chat box. Today, we're going to be talking about thriving at e-commerce. If you have an e-commerce store, I would love for you to put your link in the chat box. Share your link there. You never know who somebody is, who they'll become, who they'll influence. You heard me say that a moment ago. And they could be shopping for what you have, be it just a special event, what they need as far as something that they're actually going to utilize or they need for business or personal. It could be that it's going to be a special graduation gift, Father's Day gift, or somebody's already shopping for Christmas, right? Love those people who are so well planned to do that. So do know we're going to be talking today about thriving at e-commerce. You will see my handles, actually my social handles right below my name there. At Maria Duran is me on Twitter or X, or at Get Found. Oh, I'm sorry, that's not right. Get Found Got Growth is not right. I am on Instagram at Marketing Coach Maria. Sorry about that. I was making edits this morning after flying in and being gone a week. And so I did not edit that one. At Marketing Coach Maria is me on Instagram. Again, you will see that just dropped in the chat box right now. I just want everybody aware of that. That's where you can find me. All right, everybody, let's go ahead and dive in. We're going to be talking about why sell online, about how you can get seen or get lost on Google. It's easy to do the latter. We'll talk about expanding your reach and being more than just a price tag, okay? As well as different revenue streams. Now, do you know that I've been on the Google team for the last 7 years? I do know what it's like to do all of these things, handling the Google tools, as well as taking care of your customers and clients, or shipping, and how to do fulfillment and drayage and manufacturing and MOQs, minimum order quantities. I understand all of those components of what's involved with e-commerce and drop shipping as well. So there's a lot to be involved with e-commerce, and I see a lot of people dropping their stores and their links there in the chat. Thank you for doing that. If you do not have a store and you're starting up, so you're just considering it right now, or maybe you're a brick and mortar and you're adding a store to you, an e-commerce store, just put the number 1 then in the chat box, because I would love to know that too. Remember what I said about that I customize every session that I do for the people here in the room, and therefore that's why I'd like to know a little bit more about you. Perfect. All right, no worries. Strictly digital. Understood. Perfect. Hey, Kelly, I see you in the house, Kelly. Kelly and I are old friends, so thank you for being here, Kelly. All right, so why are we going to sell online, everybody? Why? Hello, Kelly. I'm glad you're here. Well, we know that's where people go first, right? When they're ready to know, go, do, or buy. They pick up this little mobile device. 84% of them go here first, and they look. Even if they're looking for a local store or a local source for this, they will go first to their mobile device, and they will search for exactly your product, your service, or your solution. So because they're searching for those things, if you're not there when they search, then you don't exist, and they can't do business with you if they don't know you exist. So it's important for us to be visible, and it's important for us to know that even locally, people want to know who has that product or if they have it even in stock. So because of that, we see that people see and look and do research online, right? And now we have AI in play, so everybody's doing their searches online. And I don't see that going away in the next decade, because that is where people are looking for. This powerful computer that we carry in our pocket or backpack is something that we go to quite a bit as a resource for us. So our opportunities are that we can see that there are ways to complement a traditional stream, even to focus and be able to move all of what we're doing from in person to online. We saw that happen because it had to happen in 2020, right? Plus, we see a lot of ways that we can implement some things in e-commerce to help increase what? Our AOV, our average order value, and our LTV. LTV is lifetime value. Those two terms you need to live and die by in e-commerce. You need to know what your average order value is and your LTV, the lifetime value. So an average order value is when somebody comes to your shop and they buy, or your store, they buy something. So it doesn't mean that they have to buy a physical product. They could buy, let's say, a maintenance to air conditioning for your local area, and it could be a maintenance program that they're buying online. What is that average order value that you're selling? Then you also need to know the lifetime value. Is this customer going to be a one shot? Maybe it's a commodity and they need to come back every 2 or 3 months to buy from you. Or it could be that it's a longer sales cycle, but they will buy from you once you have know, like, and trust with them, and they feel that trust and that confidence in you. Now they can make sure they do business with you even more and more. One of the low hanging fruit that people often do not look at with e-commerce is email marketing. Now, just so you guys know, this is where I got my start at with social media and email marketing. So I know this space very intimately. And because I'm involved with e-commerce, I know how much money each of these can bring to you and how much you miss and leave on the table if you don't have good email marketing flows. So even before I talk to people about what they're doing in search or what they're doing in ads, I talk about email. Why? Because if you already have an existing store, then you have people who've done business with you. And because of that, or even that people who are interested in your product, service, or solution. And because of that, it's truly important for us to stay in constant contact with them. If you're not in connection with them, then it's easy for people to forget you. They get 12,400 messages in any given day. And because of that, they may love you, they may want to do business with you, but because it's that instant when they need something, they forget that you exist and they reach for whoever's within arm's length and who they can find. That's why visibility sometimes is in the inbox. And don't believe that email marketing is dead, because as long as you're providing value to somebody, you can stay in good relationship with them and continue to provide that value. So some of the email marketing flows, there's actually 8 if you're in e-commerce that you need. The welcome series, you may know exactly what that is. That's welcome. You signed up to be a subscriber to get the newsletter, or maybe you have been even more creative in your calls to action and have those as calls to outcome. Sign up to stay on top of search. So that's the actual outcome. They want to stay on top of search. They don't want to just sign up for a newsletter or to subscribe, or maybe even just for the latest, because who wants a stressed out inbox? We want to look at what the value is that we're really bringing. We need to understand the benefit we bring our customers, and that's why it's important for us to truly know and be experts in our customers. Site abandonment is just like it sounds like. They are on the site there and they look around, they do nothing, and they leave. So there needs to be an actual transaction flow or a trigger for e-commerce that will show up to say, hey, you left us, and you don't know why they left. But if you've got Google Analytics set up, then you may know that they left to look at your socials to get more credibility from you, or get more and build more credibility and see what that is. Or they could go to your competitor in their cost comparison shopping. Browse abandonment is just like it sounds. They've looked around to the site now, they've been running around in there, but they didn't see anything that they were really interested in and they left. So when people go up to click the little X, do you have your email marketing set up with your e-commerce transaction flows to trigger a pop-up to say, hey, before you leave, know that this will help you solve this. Remember, calls to outcome, not just calls to action. Cart abandonment, just like it sounds. You know, if we were in a store, running around in a store, and we threw something into the cart and then we left, that's what cart abandonment is. And yes, even as a bookkeeper, this will help you with your working with your e-commerce customers. And you as a bookkeeper may also have your own e-commerce where maybe they're buying a whole service that's a monthly subscription service, or perhaps you have special webinars and sessions available to them too. So there's an education component. Checkout abandonment is just like it sounds like. Checkout, you know, we got to the cart, but now we're getting to checkout. Now understand, when people leave a cart abandoned, it could be comparison shopping that they're doing. It could be buyer's remorse that is kicked in. But when they're doing checkout abandonment, understand checkout abandonment means there is something amiss. So what that means is they put everything in there, even their email address, and now they haven't bought. They haven't put the financial information. So it could be that maybe you only offer one way form of payment, PayPal or ShopPay, and they're using Amazon Pay or Apple Pay or Google Pay. And who wants to get up, no matter what they're doing, to go get their credit card? They like to work with tools that they're already familiar with, where their information is already uploaded into. So it could be that. It could be, you know what, some of your lettering is kind of off, and just because of that, that's a signal actually for us to not trust a site, that it could be a phishing site, and because of that, they are not going to buy from you. Or perhaps they don't see any testimonials and reviews on your site, so now they feel uncomfortable about putting their payment information. But checkout abandonment is truly that payment information is not entered. And so that's a lot different behavior of why that happened compared to cart abandonment. Thank you. Of course, they bought. Thank you. We want you to do business with us. We love you. Maybe you're even telling them when they're going to get their shipping, their item. So you're being very helpful and communicative in your thank yous. Replenishment, remind them, hey, they need your product, service, or solution, and how often they need it and what they need to consider or add to it. Remember what I said about lifetime value, LTV, and average order value. And then sunset is a great way for us to keep in mind that maybe somebody has gone on with what they're doing in life and they no longer need us. So it may be time for them to leave. It's good for us to keep our email list clean like that. It makes sure to increase the deliverability of our email, because the more people, or the more that the actual email service provider sees that your emails are not getting opened or they're put to spam, then the less it's going to show it to people and the less deliverability you'll have. Sunset also is a great reminder, because somebody, you know, they could just be busy. It's life, you know, so life is happening and they forgot about you, and sunset reminds and gives them the option to stay on or to jump off. A lot of people will stay on. In fact, the most profitable of all of these, can anybody guess which is the most profitable one of all of these email flows for an e-commerce store? Let me know in the chat box your guesses. I'd love to know what you guess, because they're all important, but what one's the most profitable one? Any ideas? I'll give you just a second to be able to say and jump into the chat box. Hello, Kelly. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Yes, Etsy, there's Amazon and Etsy have their own email marketing, but understand those are a little bit closed loops because you don't know who your actual customer is. So it's a little bit different. Ha ha ha, Kelly, you're exactly right. Bingo to Kelly. He's been listening. No, he knows his business very well. But it is Sunset. Sunset's the most profitable email marketing flow. Isn't that amazing? And it's the one that most everyone misses, because they think, I've got somebody on the list, why would I let them go? But if they're not paying attention to you, and if they're not a good customer, are they really an important person to have on your list? What's more important, impressions or clicks? Do you know the difference between the two? Impressions are good if you're doing brand awareness and you don't have visibility, but clicks are what brings the money, because that's somebody actually disclosing that they have an interest in what you're showing. So where can your product show up on Google? Well, it can show up in all of these areas. Number one is your Google business profile. We all need one. It's a great free way for us to control our information on Google search and maps. It's important to do that. So yes, even if you're home based, even if you do have an e-commerce component to your business, you can utilize Google Business Profile. I'm not going to cover that today because I do a whole session on that and we're focusing just on e-commerce right now, but I do want to make sure you know it's available to you because you can also highlight your products and your services on your Google Business Profile for free, and they show up and hang out here on the right hand side when somebody's on a desktop, laptop, or tablet. And then if they're on mobile, it'll show up even in maps showcasing your products or services where you might not have gotten that visibility if you didn't showcase those in your Google Business Profile. Google Shopping tab is also important. If you haven't seen the shopping tab, it is the price comparison tab. So it is where people can see different brands, they can see the different price points, and they can also search by price points and different brands or different colors, even new or used. They can shop that way within Google Shopping. Shopping ads are just like they sound like. Those are ads, those are paid positions. You see that at the very top of search, very top there, you'll see photos up there, and that's Google Shopping. That is ads. Those are paid. So I'm not going to be talking about those today because I don't like to talk about ads until you truly max out everything that is free or small fee. Google Lens. How many of you use Google Lens? All right. Google Lens is completely utilizing your phone for image search. It's been AI that's been around for a long, long time that will find something by an image. So let's say that I'm at a festival or maybe a farmer's market and I just don't want to carry it right now for whatever reason it could be. And I want to see who has it locally or where I can find it when I am ready to purchase. Now I can snap a quick picture of it, or maybe I'm at a baby shower doing that, and I can see who has that baby album locally or who has that spice locally. I can see who has that, and now I can bookmark that and go back to that whenever I'm ready to buy. So Google Lens is a great place for you to be 100% for free utilizing Google Merchant Center. So in Google Shopping tab and Google Lens, you can use that for free in being in Google Merchant Center. So you don't even have to do shopping ads. Google Images, same thing. You know, we're a highly visual society. We just think about, TikTok, and we are highly visual. So images are important for people sometimes to just get that visual recognition of they saw this here and now they want to take a look at it and search for it online. Or maybe they were watching a show and, oh my gosh, I definitely want that necklace that was in that movie. So now they're looking through Google Images. And if you don't put your information within Google Merchant Center or Google Business Profile, then your product or your solution is not showing up. And Google search, of course. We want to show up in Google search because it's the #1 search engine in the world, and we want to be where people are when they're ready to know, go, do, or buy. So we need to understand that reaching our customers goes beyond search, that they will look around to different places. They'll look and get confirmation from social cred. So they'll look at your reviews, the comments, your interaction, whether or not you listen to your customers or clients. And then they'll also may even look at videos to see how-tos and unboxing. They'll get a good chance to really take a deep dive into who you are as a business and what your product or service is just by doing their searches online. So it's important for us to understand that customer journey and to be experts in truly knowing what their decision process is so we can provide them the information that they need when they need it. That's really key because sometimes we're providing that information, but they don't need it yet. They're not in that part of the process. So we could just be showing and throwing that out there thinking it's not effective, but we're too early in the buying process, or they're not even there yet. They're still at the part of discovery and they're still trying to figure out that there is a product like that. In the next session that I'm doing that starts at noon, I'm actually talking about understanding the buyer process and where they are in the different stages. So that is something to keep in mind and to really know as an e-commerce shop. So we know e-commerce sales have grown. In fact, now you see 20.1% the increase just from last year to this year, and it's expected to increase another 8.8%. So there is so much that people are focusing on with e-commerce because we can now reach the world, and it's a chance for us to be able to get things to us quickly and delivered where we don't have to go out to different places or deal with traffic or anything like that. We also know that Amazon has a big part of the market share. For those of you who are with e-commerce companies or shops that actually have products, then that's something that you can think about. I work with a lot of startups that will use Amazon as the place for visibility. It's where they put their loss leaders. So they don't put all their products there, but they put some of the big or the products that are most searched that their brand is really getting aware for, and they'll put that on Amazon to try to intrigue and get them to come in there and to their actual shop. So you can't email market to Amazon customers. I mean, you can do different things, like there's a little different price change and such, but you don't know who that exact customer contact information is. But what you can do is put a flyer to guarantee, maybe some sort of guarantee, or maybe you're giving them a special discount or a special percentage off if they come to your shop, or maybe they sign up for an actual service guarantee that is something that they need to do at your online store. So now you have the opportunity for them to self-disclose and to share their information with you. And then of course, we do know that it could be expensive to get customers, so high acquisition costs. Again, another important piece and information you need to know is your cost per acquisition. So even though I might have an average order value of $100 for a customer, if my cost to acquire that customer, cost per acquisition, so the cost of the ad or my time or doing the graphics or doing the post or handling social media or my social media software or even all the warehousing, all figured in, that average cost to actually, so the cost to acquire that new customer costs $99, and I charge 100 as the average order value, then am I making money? Or are there any potentially other costs in there that I haven't accounted for? So I'm truly losing money at every turn. So it's important for us to know these numbers as an e-commerce shop. As we get seen on Google, you heard me talk about your business profile already. You can see how your product's already showcased there, and you can give a product range, a price range. So you don't have to put the specific amount if you're worried about amount, but at least show awareness, because if people don't know you exist, they can't do business with you. So it's important for people to know that we exist, and you can utilize all this with a free Google account. Now, if you've got a Gmail account, you're golden, you're ready to go. That's a Google account. You can do anything in there and just connect it to the account you already have. If you don't want a Gmail account, not to worry, you don't have to have one. Just create a Google account using that link at the bottom left-hand corner. And remember, I do have the handouts here today, so let me drop that again in the chat, because in the handout, you can just simply click on the link in the handout and it'll take you directly there. So you can set up a free Google account, and you'll use your current email address. It doesn't change it to Gmail. And just like any other password protected site online, you'll put in your email address, create a password, and that's how you'll access information on Google or the free Google tools. So when you add a product, you can set that price range. You can put the photo up there. Remember how much of visual searchers that we are, okay? All right, perfect. Oh, perfect, perfect. I'm so glad. See, this is great. I love to see the Google partners in chat, making sure that people can find them, because they might want and need additional help after our session today. And you can be there for them with local resources, local vendors, or just being able to meet with them one-on-one. Okay. Now you can also add a description there. Remember to think about your descriptions like people are searching. That's why it's really on us to do the heavy lifting of understanding who our best customer is, because we need to use the words that they use, not industry speak or what we used when we first created it, because we're no longer at that moment. So we're not our best customer anymore. What are the words that they use? Read your reviews, search and understand keywords utilizing Google Trends. Look at the keyword planner within Google Ads. These are all free tools, by the way, that I'm sharing with you. You can also utilize and read not just your reviews, but your competitors' reviews, because in their own words, people are telling you what is important to them of a certain product or service. And now you can also add a buy button or call for more information or learn more. So there are calls to actions there where you see gifts under that essential spice collection that's highlighted there in the graphic. You can actually click on that arrow and say, you know what, I want it to show up that they can call for more information. You can also see that product and how it shows up here, that if you said call for more information, see how it shows your phone number up there, and you can click to learn more. So it's giving all that important information they need right at their fingertips, right at their mobile device, to make it easy for them to buy from you. And that's our job as small businesses and e-commerce stores. We need to make it super easy for people to buy from us. We don't want them to work hard to be our customers, okay? Hey, I wanted to take a moment to give a shout out to our sponsor, Shortform, which is a wonderful tool to help you be able to work smarter, not harder, by being able to take tremendous amount of information and get to the actual gist of it. Really, all of the key points, from blog publications to articles to actual videos in YouTube to books. You have all of that available to you through Shortform, and I've got a free trial available for you utilizing this link. Every week I do the Google update, which every Wednesday the audio format comes out in our free community, and then on Thursdays you get it by email. How I'm able to do that, because I look at 65 to 70 different sources, again, from video to actual articles and publication, is I'm able to utilize Shortform to help summarize and look at exactly what is the key points that would be of most interest to me, and whether or not I should delve in deeper so that I can apply how you can actually apply that as a small business and content creator, making the most use of an update for you. I utilize Shortform. Feel free to use this link for your free trial. If you decide to subscribe also using that link, you'll get 20% off, which is great, because for the price of one book, you have access to all of this, and it truly is very focused and complete. It is the best tool that I get to use, and I wanted to share it with you. Thank you again to Shortform for sponsoring many of the audios in this video. So how can you showcase those products for free? You can do that within Google Merchant Center. To get a Merchant Center account, you just need a free Google account. Remember, free personal Google account. It's not even the paid workspace account. So for free, you can do that with Gmail or setting up a Google account, and your products will show up. Remember what I said here? Oh, I don't know why that's all overlaying itself. Anyway, that should say Google search results there at the headline. And what you see is ads at the very top. Then you can see how search is actually showcasing. And that is changing a little bit because of AI. So just be aware that yours may look a little bit different than that screenshot, only because AI is rolling out per different regions. There's the shopping tab where you can show up there, see how you can price compare. So if I know I want to only spend $15 to $30 for whole funnel seeds, so I don't want powdered and I'm not interested in crushed, I'm going to do that myself on my own mocajete, right? So I'm going to do all of those myself. So I can decide then, and people now can find you searching in the way that works best for them. It helps you better to understand your customer too. You can also showcase that it's a product here, so people can see in Google Images if it's a product, and they can click on it, see the nice little price tag that's there to the left, price tag graphic in the bottom left hand corner there of the graphic that's called out. Now they can look at it and see that it's in stock, and they can buy from you. You see how this can help you as an e-commerce shop? Okay. So Google Lens, remember what I said, this is where we're actually searching with Google Lens. So we're doing a visual search, and this has been around for quite some time. So it's honed in pretty well, and will showcase your product as long, or your service or solution, as long as you have visuals placed in there, either through Google Merchant Center, Google Business Profile, or I would say both, because I would love more than one horse in the race for visibility. If I could have 2 or 3 horses, Google Business Profile, Google Merchant Center, and my website, then I have a better chance to get visibility. And if I'm dominating the first swipe, so in the first search results, if I'm at the very top and it's all about me, it really puts forward credibility that people are doing business with somebody who is best at what they do. Shopping ads is a great way for you to also show up there. Again, shopping ads are paid, so I'm not going to talk too much about that, but you can get those within Google Merchant Center. And of course, you'll have this in the actual handout. So if you want to use that and look at that later, you're welcome to do that in the handout. So how to get started with Google Merchant Center is you're going to create an account, you're going to upload your products, and you're going to show those products across Google. Now, you could go to g.co/merchant center. That's how you can get started there utilizing that link. You can then also now enter your business information. So it's pretty intuitive. You just follow along, fill in the blank. You'll put your business name, the country. You want that country to be exactly correct there. And then also you want to put your time zone. Why? Because if you're not measuring, you're not marketing. $1 or 1 minute spent that's not lifting that bottom line or getting you closer to your goal, it's $1 or 1 minute spent too much. So we need to know the exact time when people are shopping. We don't need to guess or have it in Greenwich. So we don't need it in a different time zone. So we're not making some good business decisions. Where are we actually selling our product, service, or solution? Now, what do you do if you're an international e-commerce store? Well, what you can do is put it and set it to your actual location, because you need to know if people are shopping at 3 in the morning and that means you're going to ship out at 7 o'clock in the morning Pacific time. You need to know and make all those decisions and be able to inform through your email marketing and your messaging on your site. When people buy, they know exactly what they're getting and when they're getting. Okay. So as you look on Google Merchant Center, now you can choose exactly where people can buy things. Is it on your website? Is it on Google so they can actually shop on Google and pay out there? Or do you have a local store? Or do you have all three? Like in this instance where they've checked and ticked off all three, making sure that they are meeting customers wherever they need to purchase, right? You can also provide additional information. Now, even though this says Shopify, understand that this works. Google Merchant Center works with Wix, Squarespace, WooCommerce, all of those different tools, which are known as CMSs, content management systems that actually will help you be able to have online e-commerce stores as well as ways for people to pay through. That is what you're utilizing. You can use this. You cannot utilize it with Etsy or Amazon or eBay, because those are closed loop. They keep your customer information. Those are closed loop marketplaces. Those are not content management systems. Okay, so that's the difference there. Now you can create your account. You're going to agree to the terms of services, and now you can look and see what products are there, how they're performing, who's looking at it. Remember what I said about measuring your marketing and how important that is. If people are looking at product A, they're looking at the biggest version of what you have, but all you're showcasing is product B, then you can take a look here and decide, oh my gosh, people are really looking at that. I can see that. And product B, they're not showing so much love. So could it be that maybe product B doesn't fulfill what they need? Or perhaps it's not showing the exact benefit of what they need. Or maybe product A is just the clear winner. Now we need to verify our business. What's nice is I always start, whenever I'm setting up Google accounts and Google systems for people in the Google roadmap, I actually start with Google Analytics first, because once you confirm and verify that you're the account owner and you're the shop owner, so you're actually the owner of that domain, it's easy to verify everywhere else because Google Analytics already has verified you. So I like to start there, but there are 3 different ways you can verify too. Is it better to use a closed shopping sites such as Amazon, Etsy, or better to use Google Shop? You know what? I'm all for both, right? Remember what I said about those being marketplaces and some businesses that I work with, because it's hard to build visibility for a freestanding, lone standing actual website. But if I am an Amazon, where people have all the eyeballs, I can start with this coffee mug. But let's say I'm going to sell that coffee mug on Amazon, but I have creative mugs, I have custom promo mugs, I can do mugs in logos for your customer, for your actual shop, and that you can give out to help promote your actual business. And perhaps I have whole baskets and everything. So I might not sell the whole thing on Amazon, but I might sell one piece that will be my loss leader. So what is a loss leader? It is something that I'm selling either at cost or below. So I'm not even making money at, but I'm after the visibility. We see that happening in grocery stores all the time. Usually they're emotional buys on end caps or at the front register when you're buying, or if you're shopping and checking out on e-commerce, it could be suggested to you, you might also like to buy this. So you'll see those recommended items, and those are usually some items that will help bring in more average order value, but sometimes it's a loss leader introducing a product or service, okay? So that's the way that that can happen. So as you can see here, Google Analytics, Tag Manager, and HTML, those are ways that you can verify. You can add your products either individually, or you can utilize a feed. Oh, absolutely. Let me go ahead and repost the slide link again, everybody. Let me put that here. I did see somebody ask a question about Google Business Profile. Please reach out to the Google partner who invited you, and then you'll have my contact information later. Okay, so I'll send that later to you when you get a copy of the slides and the actual replay, because I am recording this, but you'll get that later this afternoon, like after 4 o'clock, everybody, or 3 o'clock. So just so you know, Pacific or Standard Time. So just make sure you know that Central Standard Time. Okay. All right, this is how you can add an individual product, and you might want to use this handout just like an outline, right? So you can get the handout right now in the link that I just dropped in the chat box, but you will get the handout recording and everything, because after the session is over, you won't be able to get the handout anymore. It'll be emailed to you as well as the recording. Okay, no, the recording will not include the chat file at all. Okay, not at all. So the chat file will not be included in there. All right, so here then, if you want to put a primary feed in, you can utilize multiple products instead of individual products. So you can utilize Google Sheets, and there's an entire template already set up. So it's easy to put that information in there. You don't have to worry about trying to figure out how to align things or what to put on the different headers of different columns. So you can utilize the template, or you can utilize an existing spreadsheet if you already have one laid out. Now, when you create that feed, it immediately see how it's already set up in the Google Sheet for you, already to be uploaded, and for Google Merchant Center to see your information. Now, some CMSs like Shopify, WooCommerce that are built for this, they're built for e-commerce. So you have some of those tools that you can actually utilize. Wix, some of the Wix, I'm going to say the e-commerce side of that, you can actually utilize and just make that connection there on the back end, and you don't even have to worry about doing all of this. It really depends on your website and the different systems you use. But with Google Merchant Center, this is how you can showcase, and all of these 5 products that you see out here, those 5 Google tools, for free. Again, shopping ads are the only part in there that there is a paid part of that. Okay. You can also expand your reach by using Google Market Finder. So let's say that you already have a good e-commerce shop going, and maybe you're specifically within the state of Texas or Colorado, or maybe you're in Southern Illinois only. You're focused in the Belleville, Illinois, so Southern, close to St. Louis area. It could be that you're focused in these different areas and you're ready to expand out to other states, or maybe even to Canada, Mexico. Mexico is a growing e-commerce area, by the way, or even across the pond. You're wanting to do more business there. You can see what markets work best for you by using Google's Market Finder and doing some research beforehand. You'll put in your actual website address here. Now, this is again 100% for free. Everything that I'm sharing with you, you have already access to for free with your free personal Gmail or free Google account. But you'll put your website address in there. Once you do that, you'll look at the categories that it's pulling from your website. Are those correct? Because Google's leaning in heavy into its experience in Google search with a different, with your website and this industry. So let it know for sure that these categories are exactly your categories. You can confirm them. You can click on the X next to them to X them out if they're not correct. Now, what you want to do is let them know, do you want to expand within the US or globally? Remember what I said, if you're focused just, let's say you're in the Laredo and the McAllen area, so you're in South Texas, but you're looking for the Dallas area, potentially Amarillo, headed to the top of the Panhandle. Maybe you're looking even into Oklahoma. Now you want to look within the US domestically. Or maybe you have it in your mind that, you know what, everybody in Maine is going to want my product, but I don't serve Maine, so let me do a little bit of research here. Or perhaps you're now expanding globally. So you're going past the borders of the US. In doing that, then let's see, you're going then to look and let's see, either domestically or internationally, what are the top recommended markets. So once Google has your website address and it sees the categories, so the different services and products that you provide, now it will let you know what markets it can recommend and why. This is what I love, because you can click on each of these markets and find out a little bit more. You'll actually complete the profile. So this you can do without doing anything else. But when you fill this out, it's going to send you a complete report now. And you're also going to get to see more of the report, right? So you, again, being in your Google account, you can go ahead and do this, set that up. You can actually look at the markets and you can X out ones that you don't want to even consider, you've never even thought about, but you might want to keep the ones that you really would consider that would be the best profit opportunities for you. You can click on each. So let's say I click here on Germany, and I can actually look at the country profile. You can look at the country profile to see the population size, the currency, whether or not the corruption perception index is, if there are problems getting shipments there, if there's lots of undocumented fees and things. You'll get all of that information within this search. The median age, is it your good potential client or customer? That's why we have to be experts in our customers. And then a population breakdown too. You'll also get the economic profile, letting you know what their purchasing power is. What's the disposable income? If you have something that's not a commodity, but it's more of a luxury item, so you need to know what the disposable income is, whether or not this is a good potential country for you, or even state. Again, you could have done this domestically. Just in this example, it's looking at internationally. Okay. Now you can also look at the logistics. What does trading look like across borders? What is the cost to import documentary compliance data? So what's all involved there? What does the export import timeline looks like? You can get all of these logistics and get a really clear understanding of the country or the state that you're considering doing business with. You can see also what the monthly searches are, what Google ads are going for there, what the cost is for that, just in case there's something there that you need, and you want to see whether or not this is a highly competitive industry, maybe whether or not they're active there, or maybe everything that you're doing is focused on being iPhone and Mac ready, and you want to know the difference between whether or not somebody's using Android or the population's using Android or iOS there as well. You can also look at the purchasing behavior, knowing what the different stages are that they're purchasing products similar to yours, or the weekly online purchase breakdown by device. I'm so sorry. I don't know why that something happened right within the first 10 minutes, I guess, that switched up exactly the overlay of text, but that's exactly what it says up there in the little call out, purchase behavior. It's important for you as you go through all of this, whether or not you're going to do more business domestically or internationally, for you to understand the marketing funnel and to understand really where people need additional information. Again, I'm going to go back to that same advice that I keep giving you, which is become an expert in your customer, understand their purchasing process, understand how they make decisions. This is truly important. Okay. So know exactly where they could get slowed down, where there are any potential bottlenecks, and then look at your own revenue streams. Are you providing either products? Do you provide commissions? So you have affiliates that you work with that are out sharing information. Are you getting a lot from ads? How much return on investment are you getting? This is also important to know, your ROI, because there's ROAS, return on ad spend, which a lot of people get excited about, but understand that a 1 ROAS means for every dollar that you spend, you got $1. But did it just cost you $1, just the expense of the ad, or did it cost you more? Were there graphics, planning, labor? Was there software needed? You need to take all of that into account. So return on investment or contribution that actual products make from your e-commerce store is more important. And then also subscriptions. Subscriptions are a great way for you to just make it a no-brainer for people to do business with you, right? So it could be any of these things that you're doing to truly thrive at e-commerce, because if you're doing well at the basics already, consider these as opportunities, or even the opportunity to cross-sell or upsell what you actually have. So you're adding and increasing that average order value and the lifetime value of your customer. All right, deep breaths. We've covered a lot today. And this really has been about how you can thrive at e-commerce. So I've covered a lot of things. I know you may feel like you've drank from the fire hose, and it was intended to be that way because you do have the handout as well as the slide deck that I'm sharing with you, again with the link that you have that I've dropped here in the chat. You can utilize that. Plus, it'll be emailed to you along with a replay later this afternoon after about 4 p.m. Central Time. So you will get that. But you have your Google partners to reach out to. So what is it that you are looking for? Thank you, Kelly. Thank you so much for the feedback. What is it that, go back one screen? Absolutely. What is it that you're actually looking for? Okay. Was it that screen? Let me look. Who asked? Teresa, or was it the screen beforehand? Just let me know, okay? Just let me know in that chat box. Okay, that screen. So take a look. These are different things that you can actually help with. Strategic partnerships, subscription, or loyalty programs. There's so many great loyalty program tools out there. I could have a whole hour conversation about that. I'm not going to, because I want you to do as much business as you can locally. So do make sure that you connect with the Google partners who invited you, because that was designed for you to go to them should you need any support and know who your local resources are. Okay. All right. So remember, these are your Google partners to do business with and to connect with afterwards. I'm not sure. Yeah, I'm not sure about why the meeting chat's not showing that, but do know that you will get a copy of the recording as well. I am going to stop the recording right now.